Hello, everyone, and welcome to Burn the Ship, the podcast that helps entrepreneurs go all in on their business, and we introduce them to professionals that can help them to do so. Today, we have a very special guest. Cedric, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Go ahead and introduce yourself and the name of your business.
Yes, I'm Cedric Brown, and I'm the owner of Cedric Brown Collections. I've been in business now for 10 years, and what makes the product and everything that I do so special is that I do the artwork that's on the fabric. So we say you can hang it on the wall or you can wear it to the mall.
Awesome, man. And we look so forward to learning more about your business. But before we go there, we want to jump into your journey to see how you got there. And we understand that time is one of our most valuable resources. So go ahead and tell us about your story.
Yes, where to start? So since I was in the 5th grade, I discovered what a fashion designer was.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was a few brands like Sean John, those sound familiar, or Ralph Lauren and Fat Form.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when I seen that, they were doing it, I was like, oh, one day I want to have my own clothing line too. And I stuck with that my entire life. So when I got to high school, I still was like, I want to study fashion design. So I had in my mind that I wanted to go to SCAD.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had an art background back then. I started winning a lot of art competitions and being exhibited in different things, which allowed me to win a lot of scholarships and paid my way through college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Savannah College of Art and Design, and I studied fashion there. And once I got there, I did a few internships in New York. I worked at Sears and Kmart, on Li & Fong Limited, and also I studied abroad in Hong Kong as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I graduated, though, it was very difficult for me to get a job in the fashion. It was like I was getting rejection letter after rejection letter. It wasn't a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took some small business classes with this organization called Operation Hope.
Mm-hmm.
The founder is John Hope Bryant. And my business was birthed out of there. I started off with just making scarves, and then gradually I expanded to other things.
Mm-hmm. Now, as you are saying, you have been in this artistic mode for many, many years now, back in the 5th grade. When you got started early, I'm going back to your earlier childhood, was it where you had an easel and some paints, or you were just cool with the watercolors? What do you think sparked that idea when you were younger?
Oh, that's so crazy that I actually have a picture of me in pre-K, I want to say,
okay.
And it's some digest, and they made it look like a magazine. And everybody, though, not just me, they took a picture with a paintbrush and like an easel there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say I'm an only child, so maybe by me being an only child, I just did things that would keep me busy or whatever, like coloring books and a lot of colors, scribbling on paper everywhere. And I'm also grew up with a single mom, so my mom used to like to dress, so I used to like to tell her maybe what she should wear or shouldn't wear as well too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, you said that once you finish your education, it was challenging trying to get an opportunity in the industry. Tell us a little bit about that, and why do you think that was?
Well, for one, fashion is very competitive. Mm-hmm. But I don't really know. I don't know how to give a direct answer for that. This is what I would say for me. Like, in 2020, you saw that big thing about the George Floyd and about a lot of people were complaining about, like, especially in the fashion industry, that they didn't hire black people or they didn't. Just this whole support from the fashion community. And I saw that because I graduated in 2014. So my white and Asian counterparts, they got jobs kind of very fast.
Okay.
Like, it was no problem. Or certain departments where maybe black people worked in, like maybe not necessarily designing, but they did something else. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say that was just absolutely accurate, but that was just my observation or whatever. Mm-hmm. And along with it being super competitive, like it just, just having a full-time job with it.
Okay.
Or it's not stable. Like, people who are in the industry may job hop to get another better salary, or they only dare. It's not a lot of stability somewhat. So it's numerous of factors that can go into that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that because, with you having those troubles, you were trying to have to figure things out. I know you were trying to get into it. Was it a specific event that happened that made you say, hey, man, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to burn the ship and I'm going to go all in on my own thing. Did you have an event like that?
Yes, I would say a few things I should say, though, like in the beginning of this. So at SCAD, we had senior collection and, you have to create like a whole fashion presentation or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I had a professor that seen, I went to the Met Museum in New York and they had this exhibition called Punk Chaos to Couture. Mm-hmm. And it was all these hand-painted designs from like designers like Dolce & Gabbana and different people. And it was like a punk thing. And I decided to hand paint some organza, a silk fabric, and just putting like splattered paint on it. Mm-hmm. And my teacher had saw this. He was like, this is right here. This is your meat and potato. This is what you need to focus on. Mm-hmm. And so I then made like kimonos and different things out of my collection from that. And it was a boutique that had just opened up in Atlanta in Emmett Park called Picola, and the founder found me online for me just posting pictures. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I want you to sell some of your stuff in my boutique. Yeah. And I didn't really think much of it, but she got that hand-painted kimono and it kind of sold instantly for mm-hmm. full price. Oh, man. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm on to something too. Yeah. So that was that. But then in the process also, I had got an internship in New York City working for Lee & Fong Limited. Mm-hmm. One of my friends was working there, and we had got like a stipend every month. I don't even remember what the stipend was, but it just basically was enough to pay the rent, mm-hmm. and that was it. Mm-hmm. And I was there for 6 months, and I didn't know necessarily if I was going to be getting a full-time job with them. Mm-hmm. And I already took those small business classes, and I didn't really like living in New York, and mm-hmm. so I was like, I don't even have to work in fashion no more. I want to go back home to Atlanta and I want to work on my business. Just having mm-hmm. the faith to do it. Yeah. And I decided, I didn't know if they was going to give me the job or not. Because far as I know, we been there 5 months. I don't know what's finna happen. So mm-hmm. far as I know, the internship going to be over with. And I just decided to go back home. Mm-hmm. And I had like in my mind, I was like, when I go back home, I feel like Atlanta was popping in the music industry and a lot of like big influences here. And at the time, rapper Young Thug was like one of those guys who was big in fashion because they was putting him in dresses or mm-hmm. every high-end magazine wanted him. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I was like, I want to get him wearing my stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I got back home, and I want to say that eventually I got a job working here with Carter's Oshkosh. Okay. And I had wanted to get a job there so bad. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was an internship again. It was a freelance position. Mm-hmm. And I started working there for about, I want to say like 2 years almost. Yeah. And one day I was in the mall on my lunch break and I bumped into Young Thug. Oh, and wow. He bought like all the scars I had on me. And okay. eventually he would wear them sometimes in his back pocket and different things like that as well. Okay. Hey, listen, that's a magnificent event to happen to make you spark that idea of going ahead and going forward with your own thing. Now, tell us all about your clothing line and what you do and what you're producing. Yeah, so I said it earlier that you can hang it on the wall and wear it to the mall. Mm-hmm. What makes it unique is that I do the artwork that's on the fabric. Mm-hmm. So I started off with just making scarves, actually. So it's great that the scarves on it. Can I maybe hold one of them up? Yeah, of course you can. So like I started off with the kimonos, but also with the scarves. Like I was doing my research and I was looking up brands like well, I didn't know Versace at the time. They started off with scarves, and another brand, Emilio Pucci, mm-hmm. they started off with scarves, and like Ralph Lauren started off with ties. Okay. And I had met this designer also he's from Atlanta, or he was raised here, named Wes Gordon, mm-hmm. and he's the head designer for Carolina Herrera. And he was like, if you wanted to start a line, I recommend you to start off with one thing and then gradually expand to other stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to take that advice. Okay. And so I started off with making the scarves, and then I made the neckties and pocket squares. Mm-hmm. This particular pocket square right here, if y'all ever watched the show called Our Kind of People, okay. It came on Fox, and mm-hmm. it was about, a high black social class or whatever, but Morris Chestnut was in there, and he was wearing this pocket square on the show, and he had a necktie to match it as well too. I just don't have the necktie no more, but I do have the pocket square. Nice. That's big that you were able to get it there, and him wearing on such a
a popping show. That's awesome. From there, you went from the scarves to the neckties, and I do see some clothes up here. How'd you get to that level over there?
Yeah, so I always had in my mind that I wanted to make clothes anyway. So I just was testing the waters. I would add a few pieces. I tried out some slip dresses, some palazzo pants, different style dresses and whatever. And I just since I've been going into more doing like a lot of festivals and conferences where I am around like a high volume of people, it allows me the opportunity to really test the market and see the sizing of people, see the people want it, and that if I'm investing in that kind of product, can I move it? So I plan to continue to add more and more stuff, but the more stuff you add, the more work you got to do. So
Yeah.
So eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, now when you talk about eventually, that was leading right into my next thing. Is it going to be one of those things as you look towards the future, being online retailer, having your own spot, having boutique, having multiple ones? Give us an idea of what the future looks like for you.
I definitely feel like that is definitely it's a journey, so I definitely feel like that I do want that to be in my journey. I would like to be in retail stores. I would like to have boutiques, and I, also, continue to thrive online as well.
Okay. If you talk about your materials and things like that, I want to get to why should someone choose this particular article of clothing? Dive deep in there and give us an idea of why they should choose you over another.
Well, I thought you was gonna say fabrics. I was gonna say, so I was tired of the Southern Silk Man in East Alabama living, and so all my product is made majority is 100% silk. Sometimes I may make blends where it may be a cotton blend, like my shirt I have on, and sometimes I may blend it with linen or something like that. And also, it's very well made pieces. The art also, I feel like it's a statement piece. If you want to walk in a room and have the eyes on you, some of the women come and say, "Oh, I was turning heads," and that right there just made me feel like they felt good in it. They know they looked good in it. Those different things like that.
Awesome. Now, I am confident, because you've been in business a decade, 10 years now, that you have acquired some business skills and best practices that have helped you to be successful. Do you mind sharing with the audience today a couple of those best practices? Maybe they can add to their mix and strive toward the same success?
Absolutely. For one, I would say customer service. I worked at Publix since I was 15 till I graduated from college. And I said, if I didn't learn anything else from working from Publix, it was customer service, that the customer is always right. You always want to please them. You don't just want to have a customer for one time, but you want them to be a repeat customer and to always buy from you. And I think that goes a long way, because sometimes even me patronizing other small businesses, sometimes I see attitudes or people don't even care that you're in the room or that you even using your money to buy something from them. It's just like it doesn't matter. And, that to me put a bad taste in my mouth and makes me never want to do business with you again. Something that I've had some mentors, two of them, that said to me, and I feel like it's some good advice. One particular, her name is Attorney Pat Russell McLeod, and she said, the door was presented to you, but, you did what you had to do to walk through it and make it successful for you. And meaning, opportunities can be there. People can give you an opportunity, but you have to deliver. You have to be a good representation of yourself, to make it work for you. You know what I'm saying? And also the person who opened the door for you, for them not to look bad as well. So I would say also like networking and building relationships. Another significant person, I would say, like my stuff was on a few TV shows. I had the opportunity to meet actor Lamont Rucker from doing a pop-up. And I had said something to him about, can I give you something to wear? Would you give me a shout out on social media?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, if a person's going to give me if a person's going to pimp me, it might as well be my own people.
Mm-hmm.
And he said I can give him something, or or he can buy something as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then he talked about the show Greenleaf, and I was familiar with the show, but I didn't have no connection with it. And I actually had took a small business class in the mansion that they did the filming at.
Okay.
And so he told me who the costume designer was. I found her on Instagram. I was DMing her, and she was like, "Yeah, Lamont told me about you." And we were going back and forth for a few, weeks or so, and eventually we met. And she was like, I want to get some stuff for Lady May to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And Lady May is the main character on the show.
Yes,
and I was like,
yes.
oh, wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was just happy if it could have been on an extra, whoever. I just wanted to brag and say it was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Lynn Whitfield ended up wearing my stuff on the show.
Nice.
And she loved it. She ended up, the relationship formed with her from that. And she asked for my phone number. It was like, I'm going to Essence Festival. I want some more stuff to wear. And even the costume designers and the assistant costume designer, I formed a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Lynn Whitfield, I had no other contact to get back to Lamont, but she invited me on set because I created a card for her that she gave out to everybody.
Yeah.
And I got to see Lamont again when I was on set and got to tour everything. And I was just telling him thank you because you didn't have to do that.
That's right.
He was like, thank you for not making me look bad because, you can sometimes present an opportunity to people and they don't necessarily mean they're going to come through. So the thing I said about the door being able to walk in, that's a little bit deeper meaning. But also the networking, building relationships, consistency, being persistent, having, persistent in endurance. Because sometimes, I may feel like I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything else, but just to keep going, don't give up. I feel like that's what helps takes your business, to keep going and thriving in a business. You have highs and lows. Everything is not always going to be super high, or, sales can fluctuate as well. So you always got to think ahead. What you think what's gonna be for your future. You gotta be innovative. You gotta always researching what's going on, and those I feel like my best tips.
Yeah, those are magnificent things. The way that I've helped to build the business that I have now is through networking, building relationships with others, but more importantly, like you said, coming through when you're referred to them. Not treating that person like a piece of crap, or by not communicating, or definitely not giving them bad service. But when you do get that opportunity, maximize it. Like she said, go get through that door, and make sure that you do the best that you can. So those are magnificent tips, and I definitely appreciate you sharing those. Now, I want to kind of turn the corner just a little bit. We've talked a lot about your journey, about how you got to your business, and those magnificent business skills. But now I want to talk about you. So let's just say that, hey, you've gotten the boutiques all over the country and the world at this particular moment. Time and money is not an issue at all. What is it that you would do with your time?
I love family. I love to be around family. I'm a foodie person, I guess I discovered. So when I am traveling now, going to various places, I always want to look up what's the finest, nicest restaurant, is the food good there. I love a good adventure, so I love going on I do like tropical islands. I like riding jet skis, and so I like exploring different things. Doing something I never done before. That's always in exploring and traveling. Those are my favorite things on my off time.
Yeah, I know you've been all around the world in your studies and your business. What would you say is the best dinner or lunch that you've had at one of these places? Which one sticks out to you?
Oh wow, it's just I can tell you my favorite food places in the U.S. I feel that Chicago is one, New Orleans, Baltimore, of course Atlanta, Nashville, Cleveland has some good food.
Okay.
And I want to say I've been on Martha's Vineyard. I enjoyed the seafood there too. So I'm a big seafood kind of guy.
Okay. Well, cool, man. I definitely appreciate you sharing that information with us. Now, if someone today has a question about how to get in contact with you about the clothing line, if they have questions about the business skills, or just want to talk with you more about your journey, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Yes, so I'm on social media, Facebook and Instagram. That's Cedric Brown Collections, CedricBrownCollections. Also, my website, Cedric Brown Collections, and also my email address is info@CedricBrownCollections.com as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Hopefully those people reach out to you. Hey, look, we got a famous person in here today. I ain't know he had Thin Line Between Love and Hate with us, or Lynn Whitfield. That was awesome. That she is part of your journey. And we appreciate you coming by today. We understand that it's not always easy to share those ups and downs and all arounds. So we always honor our guests by giving them the last word. So please look into the camera and tell the people something good.
My last words I would say is to, have some good positive energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, speak over yourself, say you're going to have a good day or you're going to have a good week, and write goals down. Do things like, I feel like when I was in my early 20s, even though I'm still young or whatever, but you have this vibe about you then that I have the whole world, the whole time in the world to accomplish whatever I want to accomplish. And you always doing, you writing goals down, you making vision boards. I feel like in life you need to always continue to always do those type of things, to keep elevating yourself. So those would be my last words.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Sure. And to everyone that is watching, be kind and thanks.